Hello learners, welcome to Education Online program. I'm teacher Regina Massimo, teaching you biology for Senior 3 and Senior 4. Our topic, biochemistry of respiration. Because in our previous lesson, we talked generally about the biochemistry. It was biochemistry of photosynthesis and respiration. Then we define the biochemistry as a branch of chemistry that deals with the study of chemical processes in living things. After having given the introduction, we talk about the biochemistry of photosynthesis. So today, our topic is about biochemistry in respiration, because respiration is biochemical reaction or biochemical process that take place within the cells in living organisms. And it can be presented, these chemical processes can be written in a chemical equation form. It looks very simple, but it's not simple. It's very complex. That means it undergoes several chemical reactions for it to give the last product or the byproduct. So, as we know that the raw materials for respiration are glucose and oxygen. That means if we are writing the chemical equation for respiration, we have reactants and products. The reactants, the materials or the chemical substances on the side of reactants, they are known as raw material. That's why I said respiration. In respiration, the raw materials are the raw materials of respiration are glucose, which was the byproduct of photosynthesis, and oxygen. So this can be presented by this chemical equation. Plus oxygen. The products are carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. This is the chemical equation showing the respiration process. This glucose was produced by the plant. When we talk about the biochemistry of photosynthesis, we came to learn that in the dark stage, where the carbon dioxide was combined with the hydrogen atom that was produced in the first stage, they form what? Intermediate product. That intermediate product underwent several chemical reactions until glucose was formed. And the glucose, some of the sugar can be used by the plant, and some will be kept in form of starch. So when that starch was kept there, animal came and fed on that starch. The same animal, through breathing, has taken what? Oxygen in. this oxygen coming to break down this glucose to release energy. And this process is very complex. It's not as simple as it is written here. That means it undergoes several chemical reactions until we reach to this one. That's why you'll find that the process cellular respiration uses energy in the glucose to make ATP. That means this energy results from here. The animal in respiration or cellular respiration in cellular the cellular respiration uses the energy which is stored in the glucose to produce this energy in form of ATP. And we know very well that cellular respiration takes place within the cell. Cellular respiration takes place within the cell. Within the cell, specifically mitochondria. Within the cell, specifically where? In the mitochondria. In the mitochondria. And mitochondria or mitochondrion is one of the structures of cell where the cellular respiration takes place. And when you look at the cell structure of plant and animal, both of them, they have what? Mitochondria. Because cellular respiration takes place in both cells, animal cell and plant cells. So since we say that this chemical reaction is very complex, it occurs in 3 stages. Cellular reaction or cellular respiration, it happens in 3 stages. What are these stages? 3 stages. 1, glycolysis. Number 2, Krebs cycle. Lastly, electron transport. These are the 3 stages for the cellular respiration to take place. So let us look at this stage one by one. Number 1 is glycolysis. In this stage, one glucose molecule is broken down to form 2 molecules of pyruvic acids. This is where one molecule of glucose, one molecule of glucose is broken down to form 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. So the formula for pyruvic acid like this: C3 H4O. That means in this stage or under this stage, there's a chemical process take place. What's that chemical process taking place? Is the breaking down of glucose. This glucose first should be broken down into two molecules of pyruvic acids. And this step or this process is multi-step metabolic pathway. This process of glycolysis, where the glucose molecule is broken into two molecules of pyruvic acid, is multi steps. It is multi-step metabolic pathway. CH4O, this pyruvic acid. This is the formula for it. Since it is multi-step metabolic pathway, that means it is more complex. So the most important just to know, we are not going to write all these steps because the steps are many. The most important is we should know that under this stage of glycolysis, the glucose molecule, one glucose molecule is broken down into two pyruvic acids molecule. The stage number 2, which is Krebs cycle, this is the step of cellular respiration follows glycolysis or following glycolysis. Process number 2 is Krebs cycle. So before coming to that step, under the glycolysis, we said one atom or two atoms of pyruvic acid is formed plus two atoms of ATP. A little amount of adenosine triphosphate is produced under this stage. In the second stage, this is the step of cellular respiration following glycolysis. This is the second step, second stage of cellular respiration following glycolysis. So what happens in this one? In this stage, the pyruvate is converted to L-acetyl coenzyme A. In this stage, the pyruvic acid, or known as pyruvate. Pyruvate is converted into or converted to acetyl coenzyme A, which is later completely oxidized or broken down into carbon dioxide, water, and release energy. In this stage, when the pyruvic acid is converted into this compound, chemical compound known as acetyl coenzyme A, this acetyl coenzyme A is still will undergo further reactions where a complete oxidation takes place until it releases carbon dioxide. It undergoes further reaction by being oxidized completely to produce or to produce carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Have you seen this, the process? First, the glucose is broken down. That means it is converted into pyruvic acid. That pyruvic acid underwent several chemical reactions. Then it was converted to acetyl coenzyme A. And it's still this chemical compound, which is acetyl coenzyme A, underwent many chemical reactions until it produced carbon dioxide, water, and the energy. Then the carbon dioxide is removed from the cell into the blood, because this is the byproduct. We don't need it for our body. Then the carbon dioxide is removed from the body. It's removed from the body to into the blood, because we know very well into the blood, because we know blood, its function is to transport things. So that blood will circulate until it brings that carbon dioxide into the lungs. That where now it will be sent totally out of the body. So this process occurs in mitochondria. In the case, this one mentioned that cellular respiration takes place in the mitochondria. This mitochondria is a cell structure, and it is only found in the cells of eukaryotes or eukaryotic cells. The eukaryotic cell is the only cells that having what? Mitochondria. And what about prokaryotic cell, like bacteria cell? Prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells lack mitochondria. Only eukaryotic cell. And eukaryotic cells, these are plant cell and animal cell. But bacteria cell, it's prokaryotic cell, which does not have mitochondria. So where does this cellular respiration take place? In prokaryotic cells. Because the one of eukaryotic cells, it takes place in the mitochondria or in mitochondria. The one of prokaryotic cells, this can take place in plasma, within the plasma, because it doesn't have mitochondria. Let's come to see the last stage, which is electron transport. Electron transport. Electron transport. This is the last step in the cellular respiration. So in this stage, what happened? Most of the ATP molecules are produced here in this stage. Although it was produced, a little amount was the glycolysis, and in the second step in a Krebs cycle, but the most ATP molecules are produced under this stage. The most ATP, adenosine triphosphate molecules produced under this stage. Under this stage. It is produced by a protein. That protein is known as APTA synthase. It is produced by a protein. That protein is known as ATP synthase. This is an enzyme, and we know very well that enzyme, they have the characteristics or the character of protein. Most of them are protein in character. Up to here we are done with our lesson, but what I want to do now to give you some assignment, I'm coming to write the questions down, then we look at it, how to solve or how to answer the questions. It's not too much assignment, just some 2 to 3 questions only. Exercise. In what cell organelle does photosynthesis occur? In what cell organelle does photosynthesis photosynthesis occur? In what cell organelle this pen organelle does cellular respiration occur? Question number 3. What four substances recycled? What four substances recycled are recycled during photosynthesis and respiration? During photosynthesis and respiration. The first question, what are two products for photosynthesis? What are the two products for photosynthesis? So these are the exercise we need to go through. You as a learner, you can practice yourself by answering such questions. Number 1, in what cell organelle does photosynthesis occur? Photosynthesis takes place within the cell, but specifically there is a cell structure where the photosynthesis takes place. In what cell organelle does cellular respiration occur? We know that cellular respiration takes place within the cell, but there's a specific structure within the cell where the respiration takes place. What is it? What four substances are recycled during photosynthesis and respiration? We know very well that respiration and photosynthesis, these are the two biochemical processes take place in the body of living things, and they're recycling some chemical substances. What are those substances? The last one, what are the two products for photosynthesis? Photosynthesis at the end give out the byproduct. What are those byproducts of photosynthesis? Thanks for listening. We meet next